YouTubers, Jessica here from Aqua Girl Talks. Today I wanted to do a video on water changing the fry tanks. I have 3 fry tanks going right now among some fry in baskets in my 75-gallon in my pond. But of the 3 fry tanks, 2 of them I water change the same and 1 of them I water change differently. So I thought I could give 2 examples about how to water change baby goldfish tanks, because when they're new tiny babies, the way that I'm going to show you in the one tank is how I was water changing it when you could hardly see them. So that will be relevant to hatching goldfish fry, and then of course maintaining them. They are now 8 weeks old. So stay tuned and let's do it. We have to wait for them to finish their egg. So I'm just not good at making YouTube videos yet, so that's why I'm kneeling down right now, because my tripod doesn't go up any higher. Anyway. Okay, so first of all, I have this tubing attachment from the Python like water change gravel vacuum that I ordered on Amazon like a year ago. I don't use the Python attachment, I just use the tubing. And then for this tank, for all the tanks actually, I have a pre-filter sponge that's for like a hang-on back filter, and I put it over the tubing, and that keeps it so that I'm not going to vacuum up any fry. That's the idea anyway. So I will lower the water level significantly, and then I'll show you, but when I will take it off in the middle of the water change, and that's when I get like all the debris and poop, and then I'll put it back on and finish the water change. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I will go ahead and get this going. Connects to my side yard, so that's where you can see the security door goes into the other fish room, and then that's my side yard. So I will go ahead and the siphon is running, so I'm going to let this water level get below the sponges where I can see the debris on the bottom, and then I will show you how I just avoid vacuuming up the fry. So while that is running in the other room and draining, what I normally do is I pitcher out water into a bucket, and I manually take the water out of this because it's too low to the ground to get any suction with a siphon. So I just, I'll show you in a minute. I pitcher the water out and I dump it on the side yard, and I come back and I do like 3 5-gallon Home Depot bucketfuls, and then I refill it. So when I do it, first I just kind of take it off the surface, and once I get towards the middle, I start to disrupt the bottom, and it makes all the debris and waste come up to the top, and I just push the pitcher down, and it basically just acts like a vacuum, and it pulls in all the waste. So doing it manually this way, I am actually able to get all of the poop and uneaten food off of the bottom every time. And I do this every 12 hours on all 3 tanks for it'll be 9 weeks this Friday. So you can see this. They still have some egg that I just served them too, so I'm just going to go around it during this water change. I tend to, I give them a few minutes to get a head start on the food, and if they finish it before the water change, great. If they don't, then I just go around it, pulling up the debris, and then after the water change, they're still left with the rest of their food. So nothing goes to waste during a water change. They're pretty used to it by now. They're not that stressed. But this is what I did when, you know, they were tiny little fry the size of, I mean, honestly, they were just the size of eyelashes when I first hatched them. So they're huge now. They're like 2 inches. But when they were, you know, microscopic, I would picture, I actually was using like a tiny little mason jar, and I would just take a picture and I would look. And then, you know, if I had a fry in it, I dump it back out and try again. So, I mean, it's not easy, but it gets easier as they grow.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart.
Are you making a video?
Yes, love.
Oh, good.
So that is 15 gallons taken out. And like I said, they get a water change every 12 hours or so. So it's not, it doesn't make me crazy that there's still a little bit left, just knowing that, you know, in 12 hours they get another, you know, almost 90% water change. So I will show you how I refill it. Okay, you guys, so this is the side yard. That's the fish room. So what I'm gonna do right now is the baby Ranchu fry tote that I showed you on the floor with the hand pitchering. I then go on my side yard and I get the hose, and I don't have enough aged water to fill all 3 fry tanks with the aged water. So for the tote, I use the side yard hose, and it has a pre-filter, like a carbon hose cover, so that it's better than just coming out of the tap. It's going through carbon and pulling out heavy metals and chlorine and all that stuff. So it's the best I can do because I just don't have access to enough aged water at this time. Maybe next year I'll be more prepared, but this is the best I can do right now. Okay, you guys, so although this pre-filter for the hose dechlorenates and pulls out heavy metals, I do still dechlorinate with Seachem Safe. Sorry about the glare, I'll link it in the bio. Anyway, so I do go ahead and I still put dechlorinator in there. I do replace this pre-filter for the hose about, I would say every 4 months. I might do it a little sooner this time just because I just have been doing so many more water changes. So I let this kind of fill up until about the 4 to 6 inch mark. I have it directed at the sponge so that it doesn't disrupt the water and they can go along swimming and finishing their dinner. And I have a heater in here, just as a, you know, a side note. There's a heater in all of the fry tanks. I think I have it at 75. Let me see. I have it at 78. So usually it's not a problem taking the, well, the aged water is the same temperature as the room, so it's usually pretty warm in here. So that's a pretty good temperature match to the tanks getting aged water. And then in here, it's 100 degrees outside in Sacramento right now, so the tap water is fairly warm as well. So I haven't noticed a temperature fluctuation that was anything significant using the tap water from the hose to fill this tote. So you get the idea. This will fill up and they will have had a water change, and then they will get one tomorrow morning. It's my day off, so I'll probably come down here around 7 instead of, you know, 4:30 or 5 a.m. So that will be a treat. And right now, I've actually lost track of time. I think it's about 6 o'clock right now. So it'll be right on the money with the 12-hour mark that I like to keep for them. So now that I have lowered the water 90% in the 65-gallon Ranchu fry tank, I now go underneath my 75-gallon and I have aged water. So I take this pump and I stick it in one of the 16-gallon aged water jugs, and then I connect this to the 65-gallon and I refill it. So I'll go ahead and show you how I do that. try to aim the hose so that the water, when it comes out of the aging jugs, it hits one of the sponges so it doesn't make like a big, water disruption while it's going in. So the aging jug has 16 gallons in it, and I go ahead and just let it empty, and that's when I go into the other room and I start doing the other one. So this goes a lot faster when I'm not filming. Okay, you guys, so then while the baby Ranchu tank is refilling, I then take the same hose and I use the 40-gallon baby ping pong tank pre-filter sponge, and I put it over so that nobody gets sucked up. And I put it in here. Have to get their clamp. I just try to get the pre-filter sponge just right in the corner so that nobody gets dumb, and because even with the pre-filter sponge, they can still get stuck and the pressure can just pull on their guts. Even if they're not getting sucked in, they'll be stuck. So again, you're welcome. I learned all this the hard way. So I have perfected my skill in the last 8 weeks. So anyway, I get that pre-filter sponge and siphon hose right in the corner so that nobody gets dumb. And then I'm gonna go into the side yard and get that flowing. Okay, you guys, and then the last thing that I do after I have refilled all of the tanks, the two with the aged water and the one with the hose, I then take the hose and I refill the aging jugs for the next water change. So I'm gonna go to the side yard and turn the hose on, and this aged jug is still putting the water back into the Telepong 40 breeder. So I kind of this is what I do, I multitask, and this usually gets done in about 30 minutes. So all three tanks, 90% water change and refilled aging jugs, I can do it in about 30 minutes. So it's really not that bad. It's actually feeling really bad right now because I've just moved my ring light and this camera all around, and I feel like I've been in here for like 8 hours, but I think it's probably been like 45 minutes. But still, it feels like forever because I'm pretty much a machine with this by now. So anyway, I'm gonna go turn the hose on and refill these aging jugs, and this is gonna be super great. I got this done early so I can make this video, and now I can spend the rest of the evening with my family. So anyway, win-win. I also, here's this, maybe this is a better lighting. This is just like Prime, but it's the powder form. So it lasts like, I can't remember. I feel like I say a different number every time. I feel like this lasts like, here it is, 60,000 gallons. This treats 60,000 gallons. I think I've been telling people 600,000. So if you know me and I told you that, I fibbed. So anyway, I go ahead and I put the dechlorinator into the aging jugs, and then they will run for 12 hours until the next water change. Okay, so I feel like I just got increasingly haggard over the course of that video. But you know what, that's real life. So I'm glad to have this done. I'm glad to have made a video to show you. This is what I do every day, twice a day, and I welcome you to my life. It's great, it's rewarding. I'm blissful about it, I feel happy. So it's just so cool I have the security door open right now because I've got the hose still running in that aging jug, but this is so worth it. It's so fun. So I'm really enjoying it. I see the fruits of my labor every single day. So that makes it a lot easier to wake up early and sacrifice some time at night to care for them. They're growing. I don't have anybody's fry to really compare them to, so I feel like they're growing fast. They're certainly meeting my standards. So we're just going to continue on over here. I have some other plans that we are making for them in the backyard to continue growing them out when they outgrow their fry tanks. So I look forward to sharing that with you when I have it all sorted out. So we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. So anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll see you next time.